Hey there, folks, and welcome back to another episode of our venture in the game Doki Doki Literature Club Plus. In the last episode, we began the route correctly this time for Yuri, to which, in that episode, we came back with a poem that was written specifically for Yuri, with a few errors here and there. But ultimately, with that, Yuri greets us and come to find out that she has actually given us a book. How about that? So enlightened and excited that another member has joined the club that wanted to do something for them. Yuri is a lot more caring than she lets on. Probably one of the danderes. Not so much of a kudere, but probably just more dandere, which is basically shy. But ultimately, we also spent some time with Yuri, which we happened to start reading the book that she had given us. And of course, working tag team as to changing the pages and everything. And there we go. And then during the poem reading time, we decide to go to Yuri first as a means of sharing her our poem to find out some decent pointers, if you will, in that regard, since she seems to have been the most experienced in that regard and may give the most objective of advice, to which most likely she did. And then upon asking to read her poem, she was very excited indeed, and then also gave us the rundown as to what the poem is actually based on and whatnot. So it was a fun time indeed. Well, with that, now it's time for us to share our poem and see the poems of the other folks and see how they respond to that within the Yuri arc. So with that, let's go ahead and bring up that spot and let's see where this goes. Everyone cross your fingers. All right, here we go. You know what? Let's just get Natsuki out of the way. Awkward. Natsuki respond. Sosuke, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. How about if you ain't gonna respect other people, you go home? Jerk. What? Harsh. What? You expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Folks, don't grow up to be like this girl. Don't do it. Do not do this. This is clearly out of emotion and clearly out of unreasonable bias. Yuri has that problem too. But this is just ridiculous. At least respectfully dismiss someone. Do you think I'm stupid? I don't think you are, but you are acting like it. You are what I said. You got a problem, to get off my dang computer. I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Got her! Got her! Natsuki, let me explain something to you. You trying to act like you tough is not helping your situation. You're making yourself look like an idiot. Knock it off. Just knock that junk off. Ain't no need for any of us to try to play like we so tough. Just be cool. We got this bad habit of trying to make enemies when we don't need to. Knock that off. Painful to think about? Ooh. Fine, answers Natsuki. Well, sorry. Alright, I'll accept that. I can honor someone who apologizes genuinely. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. I don't buy that, Natsuki. I don't think you have any pointers because you're so caught up in your emotions you ain't gonna say anything that's worthy of an advisory. Anyways. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you, you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, Eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. All right, I get it. I get it. Yeah. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I didn't even say nothing yet. I like it. What? Answered Natsuki. Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I would not like it? Well, because. You better give a better answer than that, homie. Everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. Okay, but that's one way of thinking. So people don't even take my writing seriously. Okay, I understand that, but the thing is you can't just automatically assume that about somebody. You gotta deal with that on a case-by-case basis. You can't just up and just jump right out of the jump street and just think that, because that's how you make enemies. You know, that's basically prejudice. You mad about the people who prejudging you, but now you prejudging other folk. How does that fix the problem? But isn't the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly, answered Natsuki. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. In certain circumstances, I can see what you're talking about. But for me, it's inspiring. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing, answered Natsuki, about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. It helps bring out the feeling in the last line. I gotcha. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro, replied Natsuki. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Natsuki, everyone can bring a lesson. But let's not forget that there are many lessons we have to learn as well. Yeah, guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. But one thing about this too, no one owes us understanding. That's a courteous thing to do, but no one owes it to us. Plus, understanding is not the same as agreement. Let's make that absolutely clear. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I won't take that away from her. Yeah, but here's the problem with that. If you're gonna make that your crutch for stability, you're gonna have some problems. Who should I show my poem to next? Let's go ahead and go with Sayori. I'm sorry, Sayori. This is a good poem, Sosuke, says Sayori. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course it is. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? Oh, answered Sayori. I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy just that you wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? Answered Sayori. It's like I said before, Sosuke. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know. Sayori, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. There are many ulterior motives with this kid that you don't know about. Okay? You really don't know. Trying new things like this for other people, That's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. See? Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. You sure it wasn't the cupcakes or Monica? Oh, that's right. It was the fact that they had sad faces. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, says Sayori. And I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? We're gonna rock out! Okay, that was a little too much. That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yeah! Just like a dab. Now you read my poem too, right? Asked Sayori. Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Hey. Kind of like this melodic structure right here. Okay, I can dig it. All right, here we go. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed. Making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above. The sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Oh my. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, I did not such thing, says Sayori. Just a little bit? You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Got kind of busy playing, Call of Duty, probably playing Genshin Impact and maybe even a little bit of Sonic Frontiers. Well, at least that makes me feel a little better about myself. Sosuke, ain't no need for you to say that. Don't be mean, answered Sayori. I still tried my best. Hey, if you can pull that out of your rear end with that kind of imagination, then I say you got some talent for it. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put this? It sounds just like you. Really? Replied Sayori. Yeah, it does. Especially that last line. I mean eggs and toast, said Sayori proudly. Even though you were late to school, it's bad to skip breakfast, replied Sayori. I get all cranky. Hey, I get it. When your stomach is empty, you don't have much patience for much. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. It's fantastic. Anyways. Monica's the best. Yeah. But next time, replied Sayori, I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Believe it! Oh my gosh, did I really just quote Naruto? Well, I guess I'll look forward to it then. And now for the Master Chief. Herself, Monica. Hi, Sosuke, says Monica. Hey, I'm not turning up my pitch of vocal, okay? I'm not doing that. Having a good time so far? That's still to be determined. Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I am always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? All right, I'll keep that in mind. Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, says Monica, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry about it, Sosuke, replied Monica. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. I hand Monica my poem. Expresses Monica. Great job, Sosuke. I was going, oh, in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. Replied Monica. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway, says Monica. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing too, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry about it so much, says Monica. You do your own thing. Just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay, replied Monica. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Folks, I think she knows what our true intention is. I think she knows. Anyway, you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. BS on a popsicle stick that was scooping it in a Mississippi outhouse with no tissue. Whatever that means. Hey, I was creative with it. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims not to be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in the wall. See what we got here. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the speckle protrudes. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind. Like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And he, on the other side, was looking in. Yeah, give me some context to this. So, what do you think? Asked Monica. It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay, says Monica. Yeah, that kind of writing style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Oh, well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it, replied Monica. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany, huh? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Da, 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 da. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today, everybody. Check back tomorrow for more tips. Thank you for listening. Oh my gosh. I guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. This is a literature club after all. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Yeah, no kidding. Not too late to opt out, buddy. Across the room, Sayuri and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Says Natsuki, most likely under her breath. Huh? Answered Yuri. Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing, answered Natsuki. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy, says Natsuki. Yuri responds, oh, thanks. Yours is cute. Cute, answered Natsuki. Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly talking about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that, answered nervously from Yuri. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Huh? Natsuki answers. You mean you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Answered Yuri. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. Snarled Natsuki. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Sosuke did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, answers Yuri. I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style, and I don't expect it to change anytime soon unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I have not yet. And Sosuke liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Natsuki suddenly stands up. I got a sneaky suspicion this is probably going to get heated, most likely for obvious reasons, because two people who are very firm on their belief of their writing style refuse to step down and back down and agree to disagree. That's most likely what's going to happen, but we'll wait for that on the next episode. And I'd say, folks, that's one thing that really take into consideration, because one of the problems in human societies we have these days is we are so strong about our views and our opinions that we tend to try to force people to accept them. And that's the wrong way to deal with it. Okay? If the other person doesn't agree with our opinion or we don't agree with theirs, we can just agree to disagree. We can let our views be known. And if they agree with it, great. If they don't, they don't. But there's no reason for us to be at each other's throats with it. So that's something that we got to get better at. And there are even some cases to where we're on somebody else's platform and we want to make our statement known. But then when we feel like it's not being taken seriously, the first we want to do is try to push it, when the fact of the matter is, hey, be careful that you don't attack the person, but just deal with the subject. But too many times we get angry, especially when it's something that we are the non-prevailing party on, we tend to start attacking the person. And that's not the way to do it. We're making enemies when we really don't need to. So with that, I want to thank everyone for watching this video this time around. If you like what you saw, maybe consider leaving a like. And if you'd like to see more, you want to check out some more things on the channel, you're welcome to do so. And also, I encourage that you subscribe and activate the notifications so you can be informed of the next productions to be released. And until next time, happy mixing, everyone.